We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Cactus Wrestling is now available on Spotify and Amazon. And don't forget to check us out on Etsy for all of your Cactus Wrestling apparel needs.
Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. Today, we're talking about the 2024 Penn State Wrestle-Offs, also known as the Black Knight Invitational.
I think it's the Black Knight Invitational, also known as the Penn
Oh,
State.
that's right. I had it back. Yeah, I had it backwards.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, the entry lists are not that big,
no.
and there are multiple entries from Penn State at every weight. They're sending everybody.
Oh yeah. Well,
So it kind of is their wrestle-offs because
it'll be the Wrestle-Offs.
there's
And
not a lot of top-ranked talent there at any weight. But we'll go through it one weight at a time and give our 2 cents. I'm sure you all are chomping.
yeah, when I woke up this morning, I was like, I got to do two things. And one of them is talk about the Black Knight Invitational.
That was yeah, I woke and that's exactly what I thought. All I've been thinking about is Black Knight Invitational. This Sunday. You can't wait for it. We can't wait for it. Now we're going to tell you all about it. Yeah, so at 125 from Army, you got Charlie Farmer and you got LIU's Robert Sejeris. They're the two ranked guys, but probably not the two guys in the finals, because you got Luke Lilladall there and Kurt McHenry, many of which believe when these two meet, that will be the determining factor of who's going to be the starter for Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, I love some wrestling drama and some Twitter hearsay. And so if you follow it, Pat Minio, I think I pronounced it wrong. He said that Penn State's wrestle-offs, which was pretty private information, you never really hear anything coming out of the Penn State rooms. He said Luke Lilladall beat Kurt McHenry in a very close match that you weren't expecting. It was a dogfight, apparently. And
Hopefully we get to actually see it.
yeah, hopefully we get a chance to see, what really goes on with those two. Because, especially me, I've been hyping up Luke a lot. And I
Yeah.
think the guy that's, in my opinion, is within reason to be in the running for a national title, especially based off his body of work before college, whether it be in freestyle or his incredible folk style career as a high schooler. Um, and with so many guys moving up in 125. But if Kurt McHenry, who really hasn't had the college career I'm sure he expected to have, is close to Luke, then maybe he's not really ready for the 125 national title that I think he's ready for.
You were, I think, alone on that island of thinking that Little Doll was coming in for a national title.
I
I
think
don't.
Jack thought he was going to do well. I wouldn't say national.
Yeah, I think I was the most
American,
skeptical.
All American is what I thought was like pretty confident with. National champion, I think is realistic, but I'm also wearing my blue and white goggles right now.
Yes, indeed. Well, moving on up, yeah, that'll be a good, interesting match to see. I think Lil Doll probably be the one that comes out on top there, but yeah, moving on up, 133, Braden Davis, Ethan Bergink,
The
Gary
rematch.
Steen, Tristan Lujan, NCAA qualifier, Tristan Lujan.
Boris Whitmer.
Yeah,
You got a cool name. I just think it's cool.
we got a few guys from Gardner Webb, LIU, Michigan State, Bloomberg, Columbia. Not a ton of not a, like super
I,
names here,
I
but
don't think Braden Davis is going to wrestle.
Braden Davis is afraid that if he wrestles Ethan Bergink,
He'll
he
get
will
his
also
revenge.
lose,
And
just like Noto did.
Gink's taking names. Um, yeah, Braden Davis kind of got hurt in the duel. It seemed like he hurt his leg. He finished the match off, but it wasn't like this, hey, like commanding kind of Penn State victory we expected for a guy ranked as high as Braden Davis wrestling someone frankly as low as he was. It was kind of a dogfight, nail came down to the last kind of seconds. With I believe Penn State even the last kind of takedown was challenged, and Penn State needed to go their way for them to get the win, if I remember correctly, with this match. So, I think Braden Davis is going to say, look, dude, like, there's no reason I need to wrestle in this. I'm not going to wrestle in this. And
Or
that,
he is gonna wrestle in it, and Berg Inc. is gonna make a statement.
yeah, I mean, it would be funny. I mean, this is when this time last year, Braden Davis beat him, and they're like, wow, like, pretty good. Then they ended up pulling his red shirt.
Yeah.
So,
You think
come
Gary Steen has a chance?
full circle. Do I think who? Oh, no. Do I think Yeah, Gary Steen will place.
No, I mean at beating Braden Davis or Berg Inc.
No. I always thought Gary Steen was too small to be 133. I mean, to be 125.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you
Yeah,
mean
I've always so seeing him at 33 was extra surprising for me. Maybe Penn State's like we're only going to enter two guys, and Gary, you drew the short straw. Um, but what really interests me and kind of feeds into something I've been hearing, Robbie Howard is no longer at Penn State,
uh-huh.
is what I've heard. I don't know that for fact, um, but I heard he's just not there anymore, and it would make sense why we do not see him
Entered.
mentioned at all, shall we say? Um, but I don't know if he's there or not. I mean, again, Penn State likes to keep their stuff very private. And if you even go actually look, you go on WrestleStat right now, he just says he's unattached. Doesn't mention Penn State at all.
Well, that means yeah. That means he's left Penn State, but is not. Yeah, he's free agent right now, surfing.
Those
So
the New Jersey guys at 125 for Penn State just it struggles. It's the Soriano curse.
yeah, it's a great curse. Moving up to 141, they are sending Bo Bartlett. He is registered. There's also Todd Carter, Braden Basile. You got Kale Nasdiow. You got Devin Matthews of Connecticut. You got Nathan Lucier of Binghamton. Um, so realistically,
Probably the easiest weight for Bo to win.
Bo's gonna cruise on
I
through.
mean, but also knowing Bo, it'll be like, hey, like, did you see his 3-1 win over Todd Carter?
Yeah.
Like, dang, man, like, why do you do this to me?
Yeah, no, exactly. It'll be exactly as you described. So moving on up, not really a wrestle off there. 149, we got Shane Van Ness. He could be potentially wrestling off Connor Pierce,
I
but
don't
there's also Andrew Clark, Michael Chetta, a whole bunch of guys from Gardner Webb, Columbia, Bloomsburg,
LIU, yeah.
Ivan Garcia of Binghamton. This is similar to 141. This is going to be Shane putting on a show. I think Shane's going to be putting on a show. Bo's going to cruise to the win.
Yeah.
Shane's going to be putting on a show.
I after watching him wrestle Ty Waters, I wouldn't be surprised to see him tech his way through this bracket.
Yeah.
I think that Shane looks really, really good coming off his injury. I've said before, I think he's going to win the 149 national championship, and he looks true to form right now. He already looks
My
great.
way too early pick to win
Yeah,
149.
I mean, we're gonna, stay tuned for you guys. We're gonna we did our way too early picks last year, right as the season ended. We're gonna do our too early picks pretty soon.
Yeah.
The season
Oh,
just
yeah.
started. We're gonna get them right out. Now the first week's done. We're gonna say, look at the data and be like, who we taking?
Yeah. Now we know what weights people are at and whatnot.
Yeah,
So moving on up, this is going to be should
this
be
is
a
probably
true
the yeah.
wrestle off because you got Tyler Kasek, you got Alex Facundo, you got a whole bunch of other guys that I don't think on paper should be able to beat either one. If either
Another
one of them does lose to one of these guys, then I think that's going to be a
big,
huge statement.
much bigger problem.
Yeah.
Another Pat Minio comment was that Facundo beat Kasak in the wrestle off in the room. So again, we'll see if that holds water when they hopefully match up. And I've said it. I think Facundo is going to be the 57, even if he's not the best option. But because Penn State has all this incoming talent, and they have to start using some of their redshirt guys and start burning up some of this eligibility, or else they're going to keep having that log jam, and you're going to have talent transfer out. I mean, we've already talked off camera about guys we think are going to stay and guys we think are not going to stay. And, you know, I think Penn State has enough horses that they don't need their best lineup to win nationals this year. Especially now that Gable's back, I think they're not going to really chase the record that they were going to chase before.
You think Kale was thinking of chasing it?
I think Kale was thinking about breaking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen now. I mean, Gable throws a really big monkey wrench in that.
Hmm. Well, moving on up. You got Mitchell Messenbrink.
Who do you pick between K-Sac and Facundo?
Uh, I mean, I would think Kasak would beat him. Facundo, to me,
Has
really,
very stifled offense.
I feel like he's been proven time and time again to not be that big of an entity. So it's
Yeah.
very surprising to hear that he beat Kasak.
Well,
That did happen. And if it happens again, I will again be surprised. I think Kasak is gonna come away with the Black Knight Invitational Gold. Um, moving on up to 65, you got Mitchell Messenbrink, Gunnar Filipowicz, Caesar Alvin. You got Carter Bear, Binghamton. Messenbrink's gonna.
yeah, this is the Mitchell Messerbrink show. I mean, this is yeah. There's 165 is kind of a done deal for me.
Yeah, moving on up. 174. You got Levi Haynes, Dalton Harkins, Matt Lee.
Yeah,
And
the younger brother of Nick Lee and Joe Lee. Matt, big guy, 174, but I don't think he's gonna.
Gunner is gonna beat Levi Haynes. What was that you said?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna hold a candle to Levi. Um,
Yeah,
but
I think Levi's again, he's gonna bonus his way through here, and it's not gonna be anything all that special. Now here's a great one, 184. Carter is actually entered.
oh yeah,
What? Is he going for more matches than last season? Just maybe. Maybe he wants that Hodge or a chance at that Hodge.
he wants that Hodge.
So he does have, I mean, Brian Saldano's not a slouch, but Brian Saldano's also not a guy that's going to beat him. I mean, I guess arguably a wrestle off with Zack Ryder, but
I think it'll be cool to see how Zack Ryder does. Zack Ryder's a big Carter fan. In fact, when he beat Gabe Arnold for the U20 spot, he was talking smack for Carter
oh yeah.
against Gabe Arnold. He's like, "Phew." He goes, Gabe Arnold thought he was going to beat Carter. He goes, I beat Gabe Arnold twice in a row. He goes, Carter beats me up. He goes, wouldn't even be close.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I was like, dang, okay. I said I was surprised to not see Josh Barr at this weight. I think that, we're going to see after Carter graduates this year, the Josh Barr, Zack Ryder wrestle-off, and I'd be more interested in that than seeing Zack Ryder wrestle Carter because
Mm,
we know Carter, should be is better than him.
yeah, well.
No.
Moving on up, 197. This is where things could be interesting with Penn State wrestle-offs if these guys actually wrestle against each other. Because you got Lucas Cochran, you got Connor Mirasola, you got Josh Barr, all at the same weight. I mean, they got Remy Cotton, Austin Kohlhofer. They got a whole bunch of guys here that will also be there. But Barr on Mirasola could be very interesting. Cochran on Barr, very interesting. Mirasola on Cochran. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
have all of these matches happen, but two of them could.
Two of them definitely could. I think this is going to be the big wrestle off. I still think they're going to sit Connor Mirasola anyway and be like, look, dude, like, no matter how you do, we're going to redshirt you. We have Josh Barr, we have Lucas Cochran. Um, Apparently, Lucas Cochran beat Josh Barr when they had their wrestle off. So we'll see.
I mean,
And
been a 397. So.
yeah, Josh Barr, obviously undersized at 197, has already made it clear he plans to go back down to 184. Um, I think his plan was to go 184 originally, but when Carter said I can't make 97, it's too small. I'm too small. Josh Barr said, you know what? Then I'm going up, and he's going to try and get his foot in the door. Had a great freestyle year, really successful wrestler. I think he's just too small for the weight, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Lucas Cochran hold down that spot. Josh Barr wrestles off Zack Ryder for 184 next year. Connor Mirasol goes 97, because I believe this is Cochran's last year as well.
Mm. So 285. Oh, so wait, who'd you say you think
I'm gonna go with Lucas Cochran.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think Cochran is gonna be the guy.
Because I mean, look, he beat Yaroslav last year. Like he's a very talented wrestler. We know that. And
And
he's a full,
Yaroslav was an All-American at heavyweight, and Cochran's a
yeah,
97. So
and Cochran was the backup 97 that bumped up to take him out at heavyweight. Like
yeah.
Cochran's clearly got the skills, and he's clearly a full size 97.
Anthony Cassar? Is he the guy that takes out AJ?
Yeah. That would be bananas if he beats AJ.
That would be pretty bananas. Moving on up, we got Greg Kirkley is in for 285. He's gonna have Cole Sola and Lucas Stoddard as his top contenders, and Charlie Tibbetts of Binghamton. Yeah, some really interesting stuff there. Yeah,
I think
Black
Cole,
Knight Invitational, must see stuff potentially.
oh yeah, looking forward to the Penn State Wrestle-Offs. I really think that that's kind of what this event has been whittled down to.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be interesting to see who actually is going to be the guys at these weights and how things play out. So let us know which matches you're excited to see, and who do you think's going to win those key matchups, and who's going to actually be the team that Penn State ends up sending out come Big Tens. We're getting ready for NCAAs.
Oh yeah.
Let us know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching Cactus Wrestling. Like, subscribe, shop on Etsy. We're
Always building the shop.
yeah, new products coming soon.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.